Social media is a game. You win it or you lose it. It's as simple as that. It's a game you play to see who can get the most likes. But more importantly, it's a game of mental strength. The people who are the weakest fall under. The people who are the strongest come out on top. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. What's up guys, welcome back to the Focus Future channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, I sure am. Today you're watching a social media video. I'm talking about the effects of social media, so if you're not interested in any of that, make sure you guys are going up there to find out a bit more about me. But apart from that guys, I really hope you enjoy this. If you're new here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button to come and join the community. But let's jump into some social media tips. Now, we all use social media way too much. Come on, admit it. Even Mr. Tumble probably sits there and observes the beauty of women who Photoshop way too much. Why, Mr. Tumble? I'm all bloody people. You know, our phone is pretty much attached to our hand, and Instagram is pretty much open on it 99% of the time. And if it's not Instagram, it's any other social media site on the planet. Pretty much attached to your hand. You know, your phone pretty much never leaves your side. Actually, quick challenge of the day, considering what's going on in the world at the moment. Try and leave your phone under your pillow all day. Don't touch it. Try and do that. I bet you now you will foul. Or unless you're one of these mature kids. But most of you will foul. And if you didn't foul, congratulations. I'll send you a mini convertible. I really won't. Don't take. And every time we sit there and look at social media, we're allowing new information and new rumours, new fake news to go into our heads. Because a lot of the stuff you see on social media nowadays is utter rubbish. I have quite a few friends in my class who come into school and they're like, yo, this happened yesterday, you know, down the road. And I'm like, where'd you get that information from? Oh, yeah, some John Piccanilly decided to post it on Instagram. So it's very believable. And the rest of our friend group sit there like, yeah. What grade do you get in maths? So, you get my point. Basically, the media's full of rubbish. And you can see where this video is going at this point. And the people who fall for this stupid information, as a lot of my friends do, end up in a wrapped up trap of general misinformation and end up living life like it's some fake news story. You know, when someone posts about their dog getting run over by a car and then that dog landing on top of Morrison's and then an old man going to pick up that dog. I can't do this. They believe it. So, how can you make sure that your social media use is actually real and helping you in some way? Now, we all have our different styles. Some people like following beauty artists, some people like following motivational speakers, some people like following cooking shows. You know, we all have our different mix-ups. You know, sometimes people like following James Bond and Michael Schumacher. I don't follow either of them. We all have our different styles, but there is a point where you have to follow people that suit you and do your mental health some good. Because believe you me, social media is a massive killer when it comes to your brain. If you take in too much of the wrong information, or you're just being fake negativity all the time, or fake images, it makes you believe things that are not true. And that releases harm on your brain because your brain now has an image in it that's just genuinely fake. And for women especially, if you're looking at beauty artists and the beauty artists have photoshopped all their images, you now think that you should be having big tits and big asses like them, even though biologically it's not even possible. So what I'm trying to say here is being sensible. So, today I'm going to give you some general tips on this, you know, some general ways you can make sure that you're not getting drawn into these things that are just generally full of rubbish. Now, as you may have guessed, I'm quite tired today, And when I'm tired, I just I can't stay serious for longer than 2 seconds. So that's why this video has just been full of me bursting into laughter. That's if I've not cut it all out, that is. So, there I've got 5 tips. Let's go through them one by one and see what we think. So, my first tip is pretty basic, pretty simple. Choose your following carefully. Really start to add up what you want to see when you are scrolling through Instagram. A lot of us, or even scrolling through Twitter, or any form of social media platform, really think about it. A lot of us just randomly start following people, like, you know, things that come up in our recommended. We're just like, oh, that's a picture of a dog. Oh, follow that. Oh, that's a picture of a meme account. Oh, follow that. But you don't check their account to see the type of things they post. Even I do it. And quite frankly, you end up following a bunch of random idiots who are either giving fake information or just generally make you feel like crap. Like recently, like I literally was following this guy, and normally he posts really funny stuff, you know, it generally does liven my mood. But no, he started posting about depressing things. Like literally, he was posting quotes that like weren't even motivational. They were just straight up depressing. And I was like, yeah, I can do with some motivation in my life, mate, but just quite frankly, that's not why I follow you. So, you see what I mean by make sure you're following the people who make your feed lively and make it what it needs to be. Think about certain things you want in your following and try and follow them people. Every person you follow should have a reason for you following them. Obviously, if they're friends, then you kind of have to follow them, otherwise it's a bit weird if you don't. But anyone else who's in... Baby's crying outside. Anyone else who's in the form of just a normal person who you don't know, you don't have to follow them. So choose carefully. And that moves us on to our second tip, which is make a reason for every person you follow. Go through your following list and be like, right, okay, I've got this account that I follow. Why the frick do I follow them? What the heck do they provide me in my life? Why do I need them? It could be because they're comedical. They brighten your day. It could be they provide you some motivation. It could be they're quite, they bring out the creativity in you. It could be anything. But make sure you have a reason for it. Because if you don't, the chances are they're not bringing you any form of positivity and they're just making your life a living hell. Now, there is some situations. Now, it's not all the time. Trust me, most of us don't. But there are some times where we become so drawn in to social media to the point where it's no longer just, oh, I want to sit on social media. It's actually an addiction. Your brain mentally can't stop itself from looking at a screen and going through social media. So sometimes it is good to just step away from it. Make sure the only thing you have in your life is not just social media, that you do have other things you can go to when you need something to do. And it's not just immediately, oh, there's my phone, I'm going to scroll through Instagram. I actually have a story from this. So when I was younger, and I wasn't so, well, I wouldn't say grown up, but I definitely didn't have the mindset I have now. Let's just say I wasn't as work motivated. I used to spend hours and hours and hours every day. Sometimes I'd spend my entire Saturday just watching YouTube. Like, I generally would not stop. Like, I go from one video to the next, one video to the next, one video to the next. And now I make content. I know what that is. It's called a loop cycle. It's a technique YouTubers use. Even I use it myself. And what it does is it just makes people continue watching your content. So, you know the end screen at the end of what comes up at the outro? Where it recommends you a video, it says subscribe. Them videos that are on that end screen are specified to you. We have gone through your data and we know what you've been watching recently. And from that, YouTube recommends the best video for you at the end of my video. So all I do is go into my thing when I'm uploading and I just press best video for viewer, put a little box there and boom, it's recommending you things it thinks you're gonna watch. And that's called a loop cycle. And if you continue watching to the end of every single video, you're just being drawn in to more videos. And it just keeps the view cycle going. So when I was younger, I used to get dragged into that a hell of a lot. The end screen would come up. I'd click on another video, watch that entire video. Then I'd click on another video, get dragged into that entire video. And before you know it, I'd spend nearly my entire Saturday watching YouTube. My mum would kill me. Yeah, it was fun. So try and make sure that, you have specific time slots and you're not always sitting there on social media. You can spend time texting friends, you can spend time going on a game, you can spend time making something, but try not to spend your entire Saturday and Sunday just scrolling through social media. Another thing, and I think this goes specifically to teenagers, is post what you generally want to post. Don't post things that should be private or a bit too explicit. Post things that you want people to know. I have actually got 2 social media accounts. The one that's linked in the description is my personal... No, not my personal, my professional account. So for you guys who watch my videos, I then have another account which is privated, and it's basically for all my friends to follow. So on that account, I give a bit more detail into my daily life, because there are general things that go on in my daily life that, as much as I do love you guys, I don't really want you guys knowing. So I have 2 separate accounts. So on one account, all my professional stuff goes, and on my other account, it's just my friends. So the only people who follow me on there are my friends. I mean, I do sometimes accept some random people, but that doesn't really bother me. You know, they can look at what they want. It doesn't really matter. But mainly, it's just my friends on there. But what I'm trying to say here is, when you go to make a post, make sure you realise how many people are going to be able to see this. You know, when you post depressing crap like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that's, you know, I've seen a post on Instagram before of, I'm going to go and jump off a cliff in the next 30 minutes. And it was just a picture of them sitting on a bridge. Now, clearly, they'd got their friend to go and take a picture of them on a bridge, and they've posted it online to try and take the piss out of them. I immediately unfollowed these people, by the way. But, you know, that clearly should have not have been posted. Just be careful what you post, because sometimes you can get yourself into a lot of crap just by posting really wrong stuff. Another thing is, have fun. You should have fun and enjoy looking through social media. If you're not, it's time to change up. It's time to do things a bit differently. Because the chances are you're not providing anything for yourself if you're sitting there and you've just got a miserable face the entire time scrolling through your timeline. I know the feeling. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to chuck you some social media advice today, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment. Social media is probably a massive part of our lives, and at the moment consumes most of our days. So I just wanted to make sure you guys are staying safe online and making sure your feeds don't look like depression itself. Anyway, guys, I hope you're having a good day. Make sure you guys are smashing that like button if you've enjoyed this. Let me know of any social media habits you have or any accounts you follow me in the comment section. I don't know what happened to my English there, but it went completely out the window. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed, and I will catch you dudes next time.